If you're drowning in MCA debt, this is the last video you want to skip on the internet because we're going deep on MCA debt consolidation and settlement. And we're going to have a look at consolidation loans, reverse MCAs, UCC liens, and what debt settlement actually costs to go through a lawyer. So a clear-eyed guide for business owners navigating merchant cash advance debt from an unbiased standpoint. Let's go in. So first we got this matrix from low cost to high cost, low risk to high risk. In the bottom left corner, we've got low cost, low risk, which is consolidation options, essentially taking your MCA debt and rolling it into a more manageable, potentially lower rate and longer term monthly repayment using different financing tools. And then we got MCA stacking, multiple advances layered together. This is low cost, but now we're talking in the high risk sector. UCC liens is where you're going to collateralize your equipment, stock, or any company assets. And then debt settlement costs. This is lower risk, but higher cost fees and credit impact. So let's have a look in here. So how MCA stacking actually happens. It starts with one advance covering an emergency, payroll, a repair, an equipment purchase. The daily or weekly withdrawal eats into cash flow more than expected. So a second advance covers the gap the first one created, and then a third, and it's a vicious cycle. Once combined withdrawals hit 30 to 40% of daily card receipts, most businesses can't cover rent, payroll, and inventory on what's left. So for example, we got 320K in 3 stacked MCAs, documented case of 3 stack advances totaling 320K. 3.6 million would be 21 stacked MCAs, single chapter 11 filing with 21 stacked MCAs totaling 3.6 million. These are real cases from Bloomberg Law. And then the 40+% daily receipt drain. Combined withdrawals at this level leave most businesses unable to meet basic obligations and hold the door of their business open. So what a UCC lien actually means. A UCC1 financing statement is a public lien filed against your business assets and receivables. It puts other lenders on notice that a funder has a claim on your revenue, which is why new lenders doing a UCC search often uncover stacked liens the owner didn't fully track. So default consequences. The lien lets the funder go directly to your bank, merchant processor, or under a personal guarantee, customers and vendors. Confession of judgment. Some MCA contracts include a signed agreement letting the funder obtain a court judgment without the business getting to argue first. And then legal territory. An active UCC enforcement action or confession of judgment requires an attorney, not a non-attorney debt relief company in most states. So, debt consolidation loans, 4 real paths. The goal across all 4 options: replace an expensive daily withdrawal with a predictable, lower cost payment. Consolidation restructures how the debt is paid. It does not eliminate it. So term loans pays off MCA balances in one lump sum, replaces daily withdrawals with one fixed monthly payment, and it's best when revenue is solid and you've still got good credit profile. HELOCs, often the lowest cost option, pays off MCA debt at a fraction of the effective rate, but puts a personal or business asset up as collateral if, say, you're using an LLC-based investment property. Business lines of credit, a revolving credit with interest only on what's drawn, useful when cash flow is uneven and a fixed payment feels too rigid. And then you got 0% business credit cards, works for smaller balances, say 20 to 100 grand, buys time without daily interest accruing, faster to set up for qualifying businesses. Just be aware that that intro period does end at some point, so you may have to go and restack at the end of 12 to 18 months. Now, reverse MCA, what it actually is and how it works. So a new funder provides an advance size to cover your existing daily or weekly MCA payments. Instead of 3 withdrawals a day, there's one from the new funder covering the old ones. Some funders' own materials describe reverse consolidation as a stopgap, not an entire solution. So the critical distinction here is total debt is not reduced. A new advance is added on top of existing ones. Cash flow timing is rearranged, not the debt load. and can help a business about to turn a corner. For a business already underwater, it often adds another layer of debt. So reverse MCA rearranges payments. It does not eliminate debt. And in most cases, these aren't even that effective. So I'd give them a miss if I were you. What debt settlement companies actually charge? Understanding fee structures and realistic outcomes is essential before engaging any debt settlement company in the MCA space. So typical fees, flat percentage of total debt enrolled or percentage of the amount saved, commonly 15 to 30% of the enrolled or settled debt. Settlement outcomes, reported industry outcomes often land in the 40 to 65% payoff range, less than the full balance with no guarantee any specific funder agrees to settle. Here's the federal rule. A legitimate debt relief company generally cannot collect a fee until the debt is actually settled and a payment has been made. So this is the FTC rules. Before you hire anyone, check Triple B, check Trustpilot history, ask for their track record with your specific funder, get everything in writing before paying, documented Triple B and Trustpilot complaints against several named MCA relief companies allege fees taken with no outcomes and no results, which is really the predatory nature of some of these companies. There are great ones out there that are doing the right thing, but you just got to do your cross checks and balances. Regulatory landscape. Let's look at why this space needs caution. Enforcement actions and new disclosure laws are reshaping the MCA industry right now. At least 8 to 10 states now have commercial financing disclosure laws, with several expanding through 25 to 26. So let's look at a bit of a timeline of what's happened here with some of these companies in the space. So in February 2024, FTC took down RCG Advances, Jonathan Braun, permanently banned from the industry for $20.3 million judgment. In October last year, Spig Indus, Novak Equities, Southern District of New York found certain MCA agreements unenforceable under New York's usury cap. In November just last year, FTC took down Seek Capital. Roy Furman settled for charging consumers to open up 0% cards without delivering promised terms. So he was permanently banned from business financing, debt relief, and credit repair. And then in January, we've got Yellowstone, 1.065 billion settlement alleging rates up to 820% APR against New York's 16% usury cap. So the FTC is really going after these guys. That's why there's so much caution needs to be taken in the space. Which path fits your situation? Not every MCA problem has the same solution. Match your circumstances to the right approach before taking action. Make sure you're dealing with someone you trust. So scenario one, revenue still solid. Problem is payment structure. Go and have a look at your business term loan options, HELOCs, business lines of credit, or credit card stacking to roll that MCA debt, pay it all off with a more manageable financing tool. And then scenario two would be facing UC enforcement action, confession of judgment, or active lawsuit. Talk to a business attorney first. There's probably going to be a few different paths you could take depending on your situation and the contracts you're involved in. And then scenario three would consider a settlement company. Understand the fee structures and that outcomes are never guaranteed, and pair that to the way they want to charge you. So next steps with Gap Funded. Gap Funded helps business owners evaluate whether a term loan, HELOC, business line of credit, or 0% card stacking makes sense to consolidate your MCA debt purely based on the math, the monthly repayments, and potentially what you could get. Evaluate your options, review which consolidation path fits your revenue profile and debt structure. Apply for funding, submit your application to gapfunded.com/apply to get started. Get a clear plan, so replace expensive daily withdrawals with more predictable, lower cost payment structure if eligible. Now, worst case scenario, we can point you in the right direction and walk away with a game plan, but Gap Funded is not a debt settlement company, law firm, or CPA. This is educational content, not legal, tax, or financial advice. Make sure you seek that from a trusted professional. This guide draws on regulatory filings, enforcement actions, industry commentary, and legal reporting. All sources are publicly available on this screen here. I'm Mick Wadley. Let's go close something.